say your name, the business name.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, everyone. We are about to start the Covered in Business show. So let me go live. If you want to, you can tune in, download the TuneIn app, and go to Daily Grind Radio. That's how you can tune in to the internet radio station. You need to download the TuneIn app and then follow Daily Grind Radio. One minute.
You ready?
Yeah, trying to connect.
One thing to bring. Actually bring. Hey, I think I fixed it.
I did not want to do no trap music. I know, right?
Still can't hide the stupid. From the shade part of my hair.
All right, y'all, we about to go live.
£20.
20 pounds for what?
I think someone's 20 pounds.
Hey, girl. I'm
You
trying to
still
gain 10.
Are you still alive?
Yeah.
Can't get you.
Hi, y'all. Hi, y'all. We're about to go live, y'all. I gotta wait for this song to stop. We have 1 minute and 32 seconds. You ready, Chris? You ready? What do you prefer to be called?
A lot of people call me Chris, Christy, Christine.
I like Chrissy.
You said what?
I like Chrissy.
Where do you get Chrissy from everything else that she done said?
She does say Chrissy.
You said Chrissy.
See?
Y'all funny. I'm stressed out about this life, this permanent.
Just
So where do I go at Animalism a little bit?
What you say? What happened?
I'll give it to you later. Okay.
We're live. Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hi.
Wait, let me Satya.
Monica.
We're about to go live on the radio show. This behind the scenes. This behind the scenes, y'all.
Listen, we all had a long day. Literally.
Y'all know I got play with my bags every time I'm on live. All right, 15 seconds.
Did you get the tag? I tagged you.
On Facebook?
Your business page.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All right, y'all. All right, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Aisha Sims, your host, live on the Covered in Business show. Today we have Christina from Ria.
I say Ria too.
Everyone says
Riaya's house.
Yeah.
Riaya's house.
Riaya.
Riaya.
Yeah.
Okay. And of course we have my co-host, Atia Havens, owner of Amateur Lost Treasures at 6303 Lansdowne Avenue. Make sure y'all stop in this Saturday for Small Business Saturday. She got a lot of goodies for y'all.
And I'm still shopping. I got a delivery coming in on Friday.
Oh yeah. And for Covered in Business, we have some promos going on with the memberships. You can join regularly. It's $199 for the year, and this Friday you'll be able to join for $99. We're we're giving you 50% off. And it's definitely a network that you would want to be in. We do a lot of stuff. We have a lot of resources. We support each other. We have brunches. We have brunches and meetups and brainstorming and powwows. So definitely want to join a team of Muslimas that are bosses and they're doing it. Alhamdulillah. Everybody is pretty much successful. And then the ones that aren't successful, we are helping them work towards that, inshallah. Chrissy, let me show y'all Chrissy. I need to adjust this chair. I'm sure, and this chair is like all the way to the floor. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, y'all. Y'all know this show was raw and uncut, so excuse me.
Her name is Aisha. Aisha's raw and uncut.
Raw and uncut. I'm sorry. It's me. I gotta be me all the time. Wait a minute. My pen on. Love small business.
The boutique is located at 6303 Lansdowne Avenue, Philadelphia, PA. I hope this helps. So while we waiting for her to make her adjustments, I have some questions for you.
Yeah.
Can you tell us all about Riaya House?
Yes.
Because it's more than just fill in some blanks, right?
Yeah, it's more than just, I would say, transportation.
Okay.
So, honestly, how I got started was I was laid off from my job in 2015, and I wasn't really sure which way to go. Should I go back into the workforce, which was corporate America, and had my bachelor's degree in criminal justice. So I had it pretty good for myself over the years since I graduated from school. So my husband was like, you should do what you're really passionate about. You should really think about opening up this group home.
Mm-hmm.
So I got started on that, and I was just like hustling. I was going any and everywhere I could go, and I just kept getting doors shut in my face. And unfortunately, I got to the point where I just got like overwhelmed. And I was telling my husband, like, I can't do this no more. Like, it's too much. I'm going to make it work. So he was like, no, I don't think you should do that. He was like, Riaya House is becoming, a household name in the city. And, I was still new to social media. So I never had social media before. So Instagram, people were receiving me pretty well. So he was like, listen, you should think about doing something with that van, because in the process of us having me doing the Riaya House, the group home thing, you had to have a van to incorporate with your business. So he's like, you should still get the van, and you should just try doing a van service. So that's what I did. I started off very small, had a 10-passenger van, which we still have, and I was just doing like daycare trips. I was just focusing on it. I had quite a few people in my life that own daycares. Like my best friend Jessica, she has Scholars of the Future 1, 2, and 3 coming. So she was promoting me. Anise, who the child care boss on social media, I'm sure a lot of people know her. She was like pushing it for me, and so next thing you know, people were calling me to do the van service. What I didn't realize is that a lot of times with the small daycares, they can't afford the school bus companies.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they were my customers. And then I was just dipping and dabbing in other little areas too. So I started doing like the pickups and drop offs for the school kids, and then on the weekends, I was doing like other stuff, like getting creative.
Are you the person that was doing like day trips to New York and
Yeah,
stuff?
that was
you?
me.
Do you still
Yeah.
do that?
So what happened was, once I saw that people were interested in those
Mm-hmm.
trips, I wound up financing my van under my business, under Riaya House. 'Cause
Okay.
in the midst of me starting the business, I'm real big on like credit and, you know, being debt free and things like that. And I'm actually really good at fixing and cleaning up credit. It took me 3 years to fix my own credit and clean it up and build it.
Okay.
So in the midst of that, this realtor, her name is Janelle, on Instagram, I can't think of her name, but she's a realtor, really smart woman. She suggested that I start building my business credit. And I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try that. And so I always consult with one of my girlfriends, her husband. He's really good with credit. He told me everything I know about it. So I went to him like, do you think this is a good idea to finance this van? He was like, listen, if you got the clientele to push it, then do it.
Okay.
So I did. I financed the van under my business name, and I started doing the trips. So I noticed that a lot of people were feeling the whole New York thing. I was doing the Poconos with the four-wheelers. Like, I was just getting creative. And so eventually it went from being just a transportation service or a van service to a transportation company, because now I got 2 vans, to really, you know, provide an experience to my customers, doing things that they wouldn't probably be able to afford individually and turn it into like a small group thing.
Correct.
So that's like basically how, you know, that's my mission now, is creating memories on wheels. So yeah, I was doing.
So is that another business?
Now it is. I mean, now I'm working on a whole different name. I'm trying to stray away from Riaya House, creating a whole new name for it, and really just letting Riaya House be what it was meant to be, which was a group home.
Okay.
And now that I've become a household name and people know who I am, I think I'm at a point now where I could really change the name and turn it into like a full-fledged, you know, transportation company. So I'm looking for a corporate name, and then the sightseeing tours, which is like the daycare trips and things like that, they would be like a separate entity.
Okay, so that would be a subdivision of within your corporation.
Exactly. So
okay.
I'm looking for a corporation name. I'm playing with some ideas for that. So, but yes, it'll be like a whole separate business, but it'll be like under the sightseeing tours business.
Okay.
Whereas though, because the Broadway shows, I did pretty well with it last year. Like, it was really awesome. I didn't think people would receive it like they did.
Okay. I have seen it and I've thought about it. Actually, one of my best friends, she's used you.
Mm-hmm.
She did a trip for her daughter.
To New York, to...
My daughter went,
I know exactly what you're
Lion
talking
King
about.
or
Yeah.
one of them.
It was Aladdin.
Okay.
Was it Aladdin? Yeah, it was.
Maybe
It
one of them.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So I'm like, okay, that sounds like a really good idea, but is it, because I'm like, you know, I'm a numbers person. Is she out there for that long? Is she coming back?
Is it lucrative?
Yes, is it lucrative? Because you're there, because you provide everything, mashallah.
Yeah.
You take them there, you wait for them, you take them to eat and stuff and stuff.
And I even provided lunch on her trip. So
Oh,
they
wow.
actually got like a box lunch. It was like a sandwich, chips, a snack, and a beverage that came with the whole entire package. What I'm going to say is customers like her, yes, because they understand the business and they also understand the type of trip it is. And so a lot of times, I don't mean to sound offensive, but Broadway is not like going to an AMC theater. It's something totally different. You know, the first trip that I gave, it was so many people. It was Matilda. It was so many people interested, but when they heard the prices, They were like, oh, no, thank you. But you have to understand where you're going. You're going to New York City. You're going to a Broadway show. Not only are you going to a Broadway show that will more than likely cost you $150 a ticket, I'm doing the ticket, the transportation, lunch,
food,
and the experience. So you have to look at it for what it is. I'm providing you with an experience.
Correct.
You're introducing yourself and your children to something that they've never experienced before. And I guarantee you, both times, they loved it. Like even she asked about The Lion King, and so we've been trying to push that.
So we've been waiting to find out.
Yeah.
And I
love The
kind of
Lion
sort
King
of heard
play,
that
too.
you weren't doing the trips anymore, or they were on hold. Or
So that's what it was. I got tired. Even outside of Broadway, I did a show at the Madison Square Garden, right?
Yep.
And it was catered more so to parents who had smaller children. Their trip was a success. But then when I started pushing other shows and I was starting to see how people were being resistant, it got to be too much, like too stressful. So what I did is that, no, me personally, I'm not going to promote it. But what I will do is, what I'm working on currently is those type of trips will be catered to customers like your best friend. Whereas though it's not going to be in a situation where it's promoted to everybody. It will be, oh, I know that you're interested in this particular event. Would this be something that you're interested in? And that will be promoted to those, or advertised, to those particular customers. People that you know that they're going to go. And there's not going to be any resistance if you tell them this is the price, this is the date, this is where we're going, and you know it's going to work. So I'm actually in a process, which is very tedious, is putting together email marketing for my different customers.
Okay, because that was my next question that I always ask every person that we interview is, have you identified your target market?
Yes.
Because, my best friend for that, she's it.
Right.
Me, I don't know. I'll be like, listen, all of us got to come together because, you have the people like myself. I'm a New Yorker. I know how to put it together. And that's too much. Right. Because that's what you'll get. You'll get why it's right. So how are you going to identify your target market?
So actually, when I posted there about not doing the weekend trips, it really was when I really identified my target market. So being as though I'm in transportation, I provide so many different services within transportation. People just think of transportation like, oh, you driving me somewhere. But I have my particular customers who are being driven to certain places. So for her, she would be my customer that I focus on those type of events because I know that that's something that she would go for, right? Okay. And there's been other trips that I've given, even with the Poconos, she was interested, but the time was conflicting for her. So those would be for that. So with my email marketing, it's really divided up into particular customers. Okay. So for instance, with the sightseeing tours for daycare trips, I know that daycares want to go to anywhere in the city, the Franklin Institute, the zoo, things like that. So what I started last year is that I incorporated I put trips together for them. So I was like a trip planner in itself. So I know that if I can get discounted tickets at the zoo, I know that my daycare customers, those are the ones that are going to be interested from May until August. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
you've identified
exactly
not only who your target market is, but also the services to provide.
Exactly. So for now, let's just say that I know I figured it out. So by next year, inshallah, that I know where I'm going with it. And I know who my customers are. And I also know what services I will and will not provide within the next year. Just from all the lessons that I've learned with doing this business when it comes to insurance and when it comes to just customers across the board. But what I can say is that from identifying my target market, I know that all year long, 90% of my customers are daycare owners. Those 10% are people like your friend.
Right.
That's the small market, but 90% is how my business has been really thriving. Is based off of them, and it took me some time to figure it out because I dipped and dabbed in all areas of
I think that's all of us as a small business owner. You know, we try to find what's our niche. You know, fill in that niche of what is it that I can do that can give me that consistent revenue and such like
Exactly.
that. So I was on social media today and I saw I saw a nice little video, mashallah, that you have another endeavor. Yes. And I was trying to, I follow you for the transportation. As I said, I was referred by my daughter and my best friend. Mm-hmm. And so looking at that entity, what exactly, can you expound a little bit more on that?
So, okay.
That seemed like a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
It is, and it's a lot. It's a lot. Alhamdulillah, we finally are getting in motion, what I was saying. So I went to my husband and I said, we need some office space because it was getting to be too much in the home. I was like, I gotta branch out. And so in his business, he's a licensed contractor, so he has his own construction company. Okay. So in his business, he didn't really feel the need to have the building, but happy wife, happy life. So he went with it.
I gotta remember that one.
So he went with it, and so I was looking around for the buildings, and I saw the building, and we rented it, and then he came up with the idea. A lot of these ideas really be coming from him. It's just that I push it. He don't really have the time, the energy, or the need to push it because of his own business. But a lot of times it's like he puts the battery in my back and I just go with it. Okay. So he was like, we really should think of ways to make money off the building outside of, our individual businesses so that the building can make money for itself. Okay. So we sat down and we was doing a brainstorming thing and we were trying to come up with a name for the building. And we both agreed on the networking firm. Okay. And so
it's networking firm or cafe?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to that. So the networking firm, we got a banner and everything said the networking firm, and really it was just like a little business center. It was like, listen, people could come in, we have computers and they could come in, make copies and faxing and scan and laminating work. And then I started doing some research, right? And then I met with a mentor at SCORE Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. Really, really good place, really cool place to get some real information for free. And so I sat down with a mentor, and he was like giving me like all of these branding and marketing ideas with regards to the building. Because I was really going to him like, listen, I need some help because it's moving kind of slow. And so he mentioned something about like a cafe style thing. And I was like, wow, that's a good idea. So when I went to my husband, he didn't like the networking cafe. He didn't like the name. But as you can see, I won that.
Or you did win because it says cafe.
So I said, you know how people go to Starbucks for coffee? Back in the day, when I was a freshman in college, I used to work for Starbucks, right? Okay. And Starbucks only sold coffee. That's what they were known for. It wasn't until years down the line that they incorporated the cakes and the pastries and the sandwiches, all of that
people
stuff.
Started staying longer and longer.
Exactly, yeah. And they started incorporating like a dine-in type situation. And then when internet went full blast, they incorporated free Wi-Fi. So now, people go into Starbucks 90% of the time for their coffee and to relax with their laptops, their phones, whatever, and sip on their coffee and their pastries. So I said, I'm going to research Starbucks. So that's what I did. I researched it, and basically I reversed it. If people come in and use our internet service and pay for the service or make copies, why not give them a complimentary cup of coffee? So we're not in the business of doing that yet, because it takes time. But that's basically the model that we're going for. It's basically just a place where you can come in and do your business. So the networking piece of it is building a networking circle. Like, that's our slogan. Come in, Tell us about your business. You know, so many times I get DMs and emails and messages and phone calls from people who want to start a business. I kind of made a name for myself with doing the credit counseling thing and things like that. So people always come to me. I'm really good at writing business plans and things like that. So when people come to me, it's really just trying to encourage them to change the way they think.
Okay.
You know, and so if you come into the networking firm, you may offer a service and I may know someone who needs your service. You know, it's all about building a circle. And I think that's what I love most about Covered in Business is that you guys are bringing a circle of Musulmanas together who all offer a different service. And I just think that a lot of times we sell ourselves short because a lot of us aren't approachable or a lot of us aren't willing to discuss our business. But hey, come to the networking cafe and talk about your business and help me help you and vice versa. I mean, we all in this to win. You know, it's no reason for me not to help you if I have the resources. And I'm very resourceful. I know a lot of people that might can help you. So if you come in and bring your laptop or whatever you got, your notepad, I'm ready.
When can I come?
Anytime.
Anytime? All right. I'm gonna make an appointment. If you're not on a trip somewhere.
I know, right? I'm trying. Listen, it's hard to find good help out here.
It is. So that was my next question for you. If it is, because, you know, alhamdulillah, we're going into the winter months. So, you know, that part slows down. And then, you know, so now you'll be able to dedicate you to that. Because you have the resources, you have the information. And so it takes a consultation with you. When March comes along, now what?
So, as of right now, I would say that I have at least one good driver under my belt.
Okay.
He's consistent. He's loyal. So, for the most part, he's consistent. He's loyal. So, I'm not going
I don't want a man to take me to New York.
You know what? And that happens a lot too. Unfortunately for me, people don't want to work. They don't. Like, people think that driving is easy. It's not.
It's a lot.
This is the most difficult task ever. Getting in and having all of these people's lives
And making sure you get everybody
in your
there
hands.
safely.
Exactly. Everybody there safely. So it's just more than just affordability. It's like really a safety issue. And alhamdulillah, everyone who has driven with me, and I'm not roll with me, and I'm not exaggerating, says that I'm really a good driver. Like, I didn't have any complaints about how I'm driving, if I'm driving too fast, if I'm driving too slow, if I'm driving crazy, I don't know where I'm going. So to find someone like that to push what I have going on and really keep it consistent is difficult. That is one of the most trying. Next to finding the right insurance, I would say that is one of my most difficult.
Your insurance, the liability part is the most important.
Ridiculous. If I could tell you how much insurance costs.
Commercial insurance. Oh, I know.
Yeah, what you're dealing with, I mean, from your aspect, not to mention any names or anything, but I know of a transportation business that had an accident. And in my, you know, of course, my brain automatically goes to the legal aspect of, okay, you had people in your van and you were transporting, and are you legal? Do you have the right insurance? You know, is it for you and your van and your customers and such like that? Did anybody sue you? That's where everything is going in my brain, because everything is, you know, it's easy. You know, I'm cool, you're my girl, but I just got in an accident with you,
And I
have to sue you. I have to sue you solely because I was in your vehicle and now I'm out of work, and the only way
I'm
I'm
in pain.
Yeah, so, you know, it's that aspect of, you know, not only that, but dealing with other people's lives and such like that.
What I would say about that is it is a very sensitive topic. Because like you said, even though, you know, you my homie, but at the end of the day, it's not personal, it's business. So for me, I've drawn up a contract for my customers, and that's across the board. Whether you're going on a sightseeing tour trip, whether you're daycare, whether you're just a regular person up the street, I have contracts. for my business. The other piece to it is that yes, legally you are allowed to sue my insurance company, but a lot of times we live in a world nowadays where everybody wants to sue. Everybody wants to.
We have a very litigious society.
So you have to cover yourself. So my contract is very clear about who you sue, why you sue, and how you sue. Okay. It's very, very clear. Now you can sue, but there are steps to doing it. So you're not gonna just sue me just because you feel like you can.
So you've covered these
absolutely.
things in not only your insurance but also your contract with your customer.
Because Riaya House or whatever other name I decide to run this business under is something for my children. So I'm just starting out. Things happen. That's why they call them accidents. So any event that it does happen, I want to make sure I'm covered so that this business does make it, and show love to my children when they get to be older. Yeah. So yes, I do cover myself and I cover my business. It's important.
A lot of people don't understand that liability. Even if you don't have, I also teach law and ethics, and that's one of the questions that students have. They're like, well, I don't care. I don't have no money. It doesn't matter. If you don't have money today, that's one thing, right? Right. But you make it 10 years from now, when you now making money, that lawsuit is going to follow you. Yep. And now I'm coming to take whatever my money. Whatever it is.
That's even with businesses that serve food.
Oh yeah, there's certain businesses personally I stay away from.
They're just no business, no insurance. So if I get sick, end up in the hospital,
I got food poisoning.
And you don't even have insurance. Yeah. So a lot of people that small businesses, I can walk in your business, trip over a rug, hurt myself, and here it is, you're not even covered.
Yeah. Well, we have insurance at the networking cafe as well. We have insurance, but it's so important because a lot of times, not like ignorance for as like being mean ignorance, but it's just ignorance with going into business. A lot of times, lack of knowledge. And even before I even got started, I took classes at a place, and it was extremely beneficial, but it's still not enough. Like you can never stop learning about how to run a business because
every day.
I'm about to say every day I'm learning something new. And so it's so important. It is, and things have happened. I've had people say weird stuff about me. Alhamdulillah, it came out and I was clear. But it's like, and when you're dealing with children, I have my child abuse and criminal and FBI clearances, weird though, and I get to keep those things together. So again, when you dealing with children, we're also even once we start really getting back on the road, we will be installing cameras on the vans because of that very reason. Because listen, kids say the craziest things, and it's your word against theirs. I worked in behavioral health for over 10 years, and I've heard it all, and I've heard so many different accusations against adults. Whether they were true or not, it don't even matter. It don't even matter.
It has to be investigated until it becomes proven innocent.
Exactly. But think about the investigation that a lot of people had to go through before it was found, not true. I still work in behavioral health. And the things that I hear at trainings, I be sitting there like in awe. So, yes, I have all my clearances, all clear, straight up and down. My drivers, I do background checks on them as well, and I even do driving records.
And you do drug tests. Yeah, you need to do drug tests. I'm sorry, sweetie. mashallah, we do not. Unfortunately, we live in this was a conversation that I had this morning with my students. We live in a society that smoking loud is like, what? I'm smoking a cigarette. Right.
Which is weird.
You smelt it. It's just not good. I have some interesting people that, I interact with. But it's something that people do.
Opiates.
People use drugs in various different methods, various different kinds. And when you're dealing with transportation, because if there's an accident, the first thing that's going to happen is you're drug tested to verify whether or not if there was anything in your system. And I never forget a sit down question. I forgot to ask if the brother smoked cigarettes, because in my head it's like, why would you smoke cigarettes? And guess what?
He smokes
He
cigarettes.
smokes cigarettes. So these are things that you have to ask. Even on your application, do you smoke? Do you drink it? And so on and so forth. Well,
Actually, on my application, it is
because
on
I'm not
there.
sure if you can ask that. Just
About
double
what?
check if you
Smoke?
can ask. No, the smoking you can. I'm not sure about the alcohol.
Well, what I do know for as the legality of it, for it is if your employee does say that they do these things, then it's really like,
You have to offer assistance.
yeah, and that's the other part of it.
Yeah,
too,
so you
as
have
far as
to,
that,
like,
yeah.
even, on your application, make sure that you're, verifying certain things and, make sure that it's legal, up to date, because, you can't ask about criminal background on an application any longer.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, oh, don't do that. It's illegal in PA.
Really?
Yeah, it's called,
So
don't
you-
block the box.
But when you do a criminal background,
You can do a background check.
okay, but
You
you
can do a
can't
background
ask them.
check.
You
You
can't
can't
ask
ask.
them.
You cannot ask the person, do you have a felony?
Wow.
Because you're going to be prejudicial of that person because of the fact that they have a
But
felony.
once you do the background check, when it already
That's something different.
okay. Wow, that's interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
When did they pass that law? Is that recent?
about 2 years or more.
Oh, that's not that recent. Okay.
No, it's
That's,
The
that's
thing is-
fairly new. That's still
yeah,
new.
it's still new, but the thing is, that's the other thing I tell business owners. You have to stay abreast of what's going on.
Yes.
In my law and ethics class, I tell students, I ask them, who's your politician? Who's your local politician? Because when you follow your local politician, you know some of the laws that change as it relates to your locality and what it is that you're doing within, not only your neighborhood, but also your county, your state,
Yeah.
and so on and so forth.
Funny you should say that, because when I actually started in this business, I did a trip
Excuse me.
to the state's capital, which is
Okay.
in Harrisburg,
Mhm.
and I actually wound up getting a job with a state representative. So that was really how I learned a lot about the licensing when it came to transportation in Pennsylvania. Was working for her, and it was like really like a lot. It was stuff I didn't even know about with regards to like documentation and licensing and all types of stuff that I was
Yeah,
learning.
yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Because things change from 4 people in a car, van, or
Yeah.
whatever to 9 people.
And then 16 people, and then it just gets
Correct.
bigger and
Because
bigger.
also your licensing changes according to the amount of people. So
Yeah,
now
exactly.
it's no longer, just a regular license. You now need a CDL and, which
And
class
that was
of
the other
CDL and
Yeah.
such like that. So it's so
It's so
many
true.
different other pieces that, as small businesses, like I try to tell people, it's not just buying a property. And I thought that was really interesting as it related to your post. You said opening up a brick and mortar was a lot more work than starting that transportation
It
business.
was. Oh.
Oh, trust me, I know.
It was. Because you know what it was? With transportation, even though I didn't know at that time, last year when I started in transportation, I already had my customer. I already had my target market, which was the daycares, because they were calling me off the hook and still do. So, again, that was like a whole different experience because my service was so needed.
You had supply and demand.
Exactly. I had something that everybody was looking for, everybody wanted and needed, and my prices were what they needed them to be.
Okay.
So once your prices match up to what the customer is looking for, it's like you already know you have a cash cow business. Where on the other hand, with this building, I assumed
That people was just going to be flocking in your door. And they were like, I want to come in, I need the service.
But again, too, I didn't realize, remember,
Did you have the grand opening already?
I did, but we're going to actually have another one once I really get everything that I need in there and I get everything into place for its documentation. We are going to have another grand opening. But I really believe that when we opened up the doors, it was really just supposed to be about running our business. Because when you're servicing children and you're dealing with, you know, their parents want to feel, they buy into you. That's with any business, with any brand. You can have you can have horrible food, terrible clothes, whatever. But if people like you, they're going to support you. So I realized that you can't bring everybody to your front door either.
Nope.
So if I'm servicing children at this capacity, I need for the parents to buy into me and feel comfortable with me. So the building was just like for so many different reasons, but that was like my main reason, just to be more professional.
Okay.
But when my husband put this battery in my bag and was like, no, we should do something else with it, I was like, wow. But he had such a great idea. And the type of person I am, I really try to strive for, not perfection because Allah is perfect, but I really try to strive for greatness. I really do. And so if you give me an idea and I ponder on it and I think about it and I play with it and I do some homework on it, I'm bound to make it a success. Like my mentor told me today, she was like, I'm going to tell you something, Christina. You figured out something in a year and a half that takes some people years to do. She was like, you really are considered an entrepreneur. She was like, you just got too much going on. And so she really just gave me some assistance on making everything make sense.
That was going to be my next question.
Yeah.
Because you had, you know, got a little bit of this, you got a little bit of that. This was your dream, you know, and then your dream, it sounds like it's on the back burner, and now you're picking up a new dream and such like that. And I guess my question is, do you have a series of side hustles that you're making money? Or are you building a brand?
Well, what I'll say is both, right? I know. And it doesn't, and again, my mentor was like, listen, in order for your dream to really flourish, you have to apply some real time to it, and you might have to neglect some other stuff.
Or let go of some other thing.
What I would say is I'm in the process now of letting go of some of my responsibilities.
Okay.
Because what's happening is, even with the transportation piece, in my mind, I thought that, all right, let me just get me into October, right? Get me into October to get the transportation to run smooth. But what I've learned as a business owner is that your business will never run smooth.
No,
so I've come to that conclusion, and I'm okay with that. So now I'm in the process of finding, like you said, one more driver, which is a female. I have someone in mind. Hey, Felicia, if you're listening, I have someone in mind.
Out there.
I have someone in mind, and her and I really had to sit down and, you know, go over things with her and, you know, really break down how things are. So if I could give up the driving piece, right, then I can now give the networking cafe some of my attention. I even tried to hire like an assistant, and it just wasn't, you know, agreeable with me. Yeah, it wasn't. Like, she was pretty cool, but she just wasn't what I needed.
Listen, let me explain.
I'm about to move into a new
I have
location.
gone into in a series of summers. I have had multiple interns, people that were just like, I had this one girl, she was perfect. She got pregnant. Then, you know, they were getting paid, not showing up. It was everything under the sun. And alhamdulillah, I never gave up. I never gave up. I never stopped praying for it. And alhamdulillah, right now, alhamdulillah, I have the best employee ever.
Right.
And it comes, and she understands my vision and such. I'm not creating a person. The person was already created, and we're just molding together. So, you know, mashallah. Can you give us 2 pieces of advice that you would give to a new entrepreneur?
Research.
Okay.
Research.
Okay.
Oh, you have a dream, a goal, an idea. Do your homework.
Okay.
Don't just jump into it because it's important.
Okay.
And the next piece of advice is that once you do decide to take a chance and jump into it, cover yourself, protect yourself, and protect your business. It's so important because I've invested everything that I have, everything that my husband has, everything, everything into these businesses. And so to the thought of one little slight situation happening and I lose everything will hurt. I mean, if it happens, Allah knows best.
But still,
yeah, cover yourself.
Alhamdulillah. Well, it has been a great session. Alhamdulillah. I hope you've all enjoyed the segment with Sister Chrissy of Riaya House. Alhamdulillah.
And now your Networking Cafe.
And now Networking Cafe. Alhamdulillah. That's located where?
2849 North 22nd Street. That's here in Philly, 19132.
Alhamdulillah. I'll type it in the comment section, inshallah, if you didn't catch it. Myself and Aisha, yay, would like to thank you for tuning in.
I don't feel good, y'all, but I'm here.
She's here, alhamdulillah. We would like to thank you for tuning in to another segment of Covered in Business on Daily Grind Radio. Sorry, that stupid willows keep sticking out. Also, alhamdulillah, Saturday is Small Business Saturday. Come out and support small businesses within your community. It's your support that helps to keep us to growing and keeping outdoors open. Amatulah's Treasures has a blowout sale from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. inshallah. I think I lost my mind trying to give away my store. I don't know why, but alhamdulillah, come on out. We'll have some surprises inshallah. Ish, you better be there. I'm just saying. Love you. Assalamu alaikum. We'll talk to you later.
All right, y'all. We're signing out. Make sure y'all tune in next week. Same time, Wednesday. Tune in on a Daily Grind show. Next week we have the owner of Delish, inshallah, and come find out about her catering business. And she does a lot of other things also. So we'll have her next week with my co-host Deanna. Oh my God.
Davis.
No, I wasn't gonna say it. I was trying to think of something else I wanted to mention. Oh, don't forget, go to coveredinbusiness.net. Join us this Friday for 50% off your membership fee. It's going to be $99. One-time fee annually. And come join a circle of entrepreneurs, sisters that are growing and making things happen in our community. Also, this Sunday, we'll be feeding the homeless, my nonprofit organization, United Ummah Philly. You can check us out, uuop.org. We'll be serving at 16th and JFK. Make sure you come out. We need desserts, beverages. Do we need forks and stuff? I think we need...
You can bring them if you have it.